Good evening, guys and girls. Rob here with you this evening, and we are just about ready for some wrestling action. And we have got a tag team match in store for you this evening. Just one match. We're just going to have a one match and run type situation tonight, and then we may do a little bit of chat if somebody wants to do some chatting. We can do that, but yeah, we're gonna mostly uh, be here tonight just to do a match, show you guys how it works. Um, this one may surprise you a little bit, just who we got going on, but hey, what the heck, right? Uh, let's uh, let's show you who's gonna wrestle tonight. Only one match, and then after that it'll be chat. If you hang tight, it probably won't last real long. Um, you may see why in a second. All right, here we go, and there we go. We're gonna have the Road Warriors tonight taking on Tony Zane, and Brody Chase. They're in a piss mood. Paul Ellering decided not to come to ringside tonight. Okay, but when he does decide to come to ringside, we're gonna fix their cards as heels, just where one of these, well, they got to throw at the ring, they got to throw at the ring type situation. We're going to have a cheat too. We're going to have one part of it be a cheat. So we will fix that up. Road Warriors do have a tag team move chart. They're a B tag team, where the other team is a D tag team of Zane and Chase. And we're going to see who has control. A little bit of a squash match. I do realize that. So, Frank, Duke, what's going on? Mo. So what we're going to do, we're going to let the Road Warriors have a 20-sided die, while Chase and Zane only have a 12-sided. So if they're going to put a move on Animal and Hawk, they're going to have to do it and really show it. And then obviously we got the tag situation. If they do want to tag, um, you know, and the Road Warriors sometimes will throw you in the corner, make you tag. So that's another thing we have to kind of keep up with that as well. It could go wild tonight. It really could. In case of a rifle chart, which is highly unlikely, but it could happen. We get that ready. We got the pinfall chart, which probably will happen. Throw out the rain chart. Very, very possible. Don Huston, backseat of Iowa, yep. And tag team chart, which I'm sure we're going to need. Road Warriors against Zane and Chase. All right. Let's see what's going to happen here. Let's roll the dice, and we're ready to ring the bell. 15-minute time limit. And it's the Road Warriors, Road Warrior Hawk. Let's see what he can do to Brody Chase. That's right. So we're just getting them going here now. So let's do like this and do it like this. All right. So let's see what the Road Warriors think. Road Warrior Hawk 18, forearm 14. That'll be 16 on Chase. 16 on Chase. That'll be 94 left. That's one move. All right. Let's see what Hawk can do now. Hawk can do nothing. Wow, Chase is going to come in there. What can Brody Chase do? Brody Chase, 84. He's going to give him a punch. It's going to be 14. That's going to be 17 against Hawk. And I'm sure that's not going to impress Hawk a lot right there. Let's just say it that way. It's not going to impress him a lot at all. Chase stays Chase stays on the move, and Hawk looks at him kind of funny. 73, another punch, 14. 17 more. 626. And Hawk is laughing at him. Hawk is actually laughing at him now. And Road Warriors will take over. Hawk on Chase. 20. Big Boot, 18. Let's call it 24. 24 makes Brody Chase go down to 70. Road Warrior Hawk now. Let's see what will he do. 18-1. That is not even close. 46. 46 as a punch. 16. One more will be 17. There'll be 53 left for Brody Chase. Let's see what 12-3. That'll be a 3 right here for Hawk. Hawk is wanting to beat him up a little bit. 23, Big Boot, 18. 19 more. 19 more will be a 34. And he's got Brody Chase pretty well running for his life right now. 14-12, yep. Brody Chase running for his life. 08, hip toss, 8. 13 more. 21. And Hawk now is going to try to tag. And he will. He will tag. Be ready to tag team. We'll see what's he going to do. 79. You tag, your partner enters the ring, and you perform a tag team maneuver. All right, tag team maneuver by the Road Warriors. Let's bring let's bring Animal in now. Let's bring Animal in. So he's going up against Brody Chase now. Let's see what kind of tag team maneuver they can do here. 40. One press slams into the other stomach buster. 68. This will be 71. 71. He's minus 50 already. Minus 50. Animal only has a 1 now. Let's see what he can do. What's he going to do to Chase? He'll stay on top of him, that's for sure. He is wearing him out big time. 26. Kick, 14. It'll be 15 more. It'll be 65. He's throwing Chase into the corner. Chase will tag. Tony Zane now, Animal, will get 1 extra one for allowing him to tag. That's nice of Animal to be that nice, right? And wow, now Tony Zane, the House of Fire. What's he going to do? 79. He's going to get a leg lock on him. So be 4. So be 9. So be 9 against Animal. Animal's looking at him like he's nuts or something. And now Animal takes over. 0-2. He grapples. Counts his 2 moves. All right. So it's just going to be 2 moves. And we'll go to 3 right there. And Animal now taking control. Yep. Taking control. How about a 30? Kicks him. 14. Be 18. 18 will be 112 against Zane. And they're just trying to wear him out now. And now Zane turns him around. What's he going to do to him? 46. He punches him upside the face. 14, 15. 6-16 on Animal. And Animal now is looking at him like, are you absolutely out of your mind? And Animal takes over with 17, a forearm, 14. Make it 19. 19. 93 on Zane. Animal stays going after him. And no, he tried to throw him into the rope. Zane turns it around on him. Tony Zane now, 52. Punches him, 14. Be 19. And Animal's not at all impressed by that. Animal takes over. 49. 49 to be a punch. Be 16. Be 22. 71. And now he's going to try to tag Hawk. And he cannot tag Hawk. Zane actually grabs him by the hair. How about that? 15. Snapmare. 1, 2, 4. 4. Can Zane stay on top of him now? No, he cannot. Road Warrior Animal now. 63. Double axe handle. 16 to be 17. 17. Be 54 left. Now he's going to try to tag Hawk. And he will tag Hawk. He's going to get Hawk in the match now. And let's see what's going to happen here. All right. 87. That's going to be a tag. And you'll get a tag team partner move. 91. Hawk picks up Zane. So Animal can do a second rope power slam. 70 against him. 70. So it's going to be minus 16. It's going to be an A move. And it looks like this might be the end of Tony Zane. I don't know. Let's see. This will be a 5, level 5. 1, 2, 43. 1, 2, 98. Ding, 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 ding. And Road Warrior Animal comes in after, and he performs that pin. Let's go, Mr. Jobber. The Jobber is done. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17 moves. 17 moves, and that's over. That is absolutely stick a fork in these boys. They're done, and undoubtedly, that was it. That was the end of it. Road Warriors beat Tony Zane and Brody Chase. Got some upcoming matches. Let's see. I've got a couple of matches that I'm not going to do tonight. I'm going to do them another time. I thought maybe I'd invite some people in tonight. I got Spider Kid. He is my newest subscriber. Spider Kid was a wrestler. He sent me a video. He was a wrestler. Then he became a referee. For the U.S. title, I'm going to have Barbarian taking on Sam Houston. And also on the Saturday night show, I'm going to have Nelson Royal taking on Brad Armstrong. So that should be a good match as well. Should be a really good match. I don't think that's going to even be I think that really will be a good match. Brad Armstrong and Nelson Royal. Who is your favorite jobber of all time in the NWA? And I'm sure 95% of the people will say the Mulkeys. Someone other than the Mulkeys, though. Someone other than the Mulkeys. Who's your favorite? See, I had one from back in the late 70s, early 80s, when we used to go watch the wrestling matches. We used to do some wild stuff, and I'll talk about that. But we used to do some, let's say, underhanded stuff when we used to go to the wrestling matches. At best, it was underhanded, no doubt. And let's see, I've got my pencils here. And I dropped one. Let's see where it go. Here it is. I dropped that during the match. That's the reason I keep that many pencils when I'm doing my matches. That way I don't have to go chasing them. Yeah, I had a favorite jobber back in the early 80s anyway. I always liked him. Later on in the 90s, he actually became a decent wrestler. And actually, it was a couple of guys that I enjoyed watching wrestle. One of them actually became AWA tag team champion, and he got together with DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, in the AWA, and they ended up calling themselves the Diamond Connection or something like that. But yeah. And it wasn't Paul Diamond. It was the guy that used to wrestle with him. I can't think of his name. He was Asian, I think. Uh, somebody help me out there. Somebody help me out there. But he was one of my favorite jobbers in the NWA for years. Pat Tanaka. Pat Tanaka. He was a jobber early on in his early days in the NWA. And then also there was a guy that ended up going to IWF, I think, up in New Jersey, along with a teammate. I don't even know who his teammate was, but this guy's name was Jeff Sword. Jeff Sword, SWORD, and he was fun to watch. He was always fun to watch. He was kind of a shaggy headed guy and all. He was mean. Um, Vinny Valentino, he's not in this set either. He was a lot of fun to watch in the day. Charlie Fulton, I think Charlie Fulton is in the WWF set, but he was fun to watch. So it were a lot of different guys that were fun to watch in the different organizations, um, that were jobbers that were fun to watch. That actually you'd turn the TV on and be like, "Hey, that guy's wrestling today." Um, None more famous than the Mulkeys. Once the Mulkeys won their match against the Gladiators, that Doug Vines was Jeff Swords. You're exactly right. Doug Vines. They both were Doug Vines and Jeff Sword. They both were early on in their careers, late 70s, early 80s. They were jobbers in the NWA in Mid Atlantic. Both of them were, and they were good. They were a good team. They were a good teammate. Vines and Sword was, yeah. Um, George South. George South. He's been wrestling his whole life. I guess he's got to be up in his 60s now. Um, he's got to be close to 60. He's got to be around 60. Um, he's been wrestling his whole life, and he's probably trained 100 people. Um, he's been around wrestling a lot of his life, and he was a jobber as well. Um, Don Knodel, rest in peace, Don Knodel. His brother, uh, Keith Larson, for I don't know 3 years, maybe 4 years. Then he became Rocky Knodel. Uh, Rocky Knodel. Um, and I've got to try to be able to get um, see if anybody's private chatting me. Not tonight. I've got to try to get the Spider Kid back in here again. Um, um, he's I accidentally booted him last night, and I didn't mean to do that. So I got to find a way to be able to get him back in here uh, without it being a problem. So if I have to, I may end up having to call StreamYard or whatever to do that. Um, our U.S. champion is the Barbarian. If you didn't watch it last night, the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette, no DQ match. They won the World Tag Team titles. Dusty Rhodes in his cage match beat Ron Garvin. He gave him the bionic elbow, and he left a baseball size hemorrhage place above the eye of Ron Garvin. He is going to be out now at least until August 1. August 1 at earliest. Ron Garvin comes back. It could be later than that. But Ron Garvin now will be out of action until then. Also coming up pretty soon, we're going to have the Battle of the Nature Boys, Buddy Landel against Ric Flair. The Nature Boy, Buddy Landel, Ride the Wild Mouse against Space Mountain, Ric Flair. And we're going to have that match coming up pretty soon, too. So that should be a lot of fun to watch. Buddy Landel, he passed away a couple years ago too. and he was fun to watch. He was not my favorite wrestler to watch, but he was all right. Um, I know people have different opinions on a lot of different things. Oldest ride, longest line, Ric Flair on Space Mountain. Yeah. Um, I always like to watch Ric Flair wrestle. I always like to watch Arn Anderson wrestle. I always like to watch. Um, I wasn't a big Tully Blanchard fan. Tully Blanchard was a lot like Larry Zbyszko, and they wasted a lot of time. And they were okay, but not my favorites. I like Kevin Sullivan. Anytime he had his crew going, I liked Raven. I always liked to watch Raven. I always liked to Flock. He was always funny. But Kevin Sullivan, when he had his crew in WCW, the Varsity Club, they were okay. And then when he had the Darkness crew down in Florida, that was the best. That was awesome. With Maya Singh, um, um, the Purple Haze. Um, he had a few people. He had a few people. I can't think of everybody. Mike Davis, Maniac Mike Davis. He was a lot of fun to watch wrestle anytime. Mike Davis was a decent wrestler early when he was a jobber in in NWA. He was a jobber. Buddy Landale was a jobber when he first came. Buddy Landale had darker hair than I've got, and when he first came to the NWA, you can watch some of that wrestling. That's excellent wrestling from 79, 80, 81, 82. Buddy Landale was coming in. He was fun to watch. Um, there were a lot of guys that were jobbers back in the day. A lot of fun. Um, if you look at one of the squared circle games, I think it's WCCW has a guy named Richard Blood, and Richard Blood at the time was a jobber, and I want to say this was like 1981, 80. It might have been even earlier than that, 78 or 79 even. He came to the Mid-Atlantic region and became Ricky Steamboat, and that's his name. Richard Blood is his real name, and he went by that in WCCW. Did not He didn't amount to a whole lot there. And he wasn't there very long. I want to say he was only there like maybe 3-4 months total, and he got out of there and got invited to Mid Atlantic Wrestling. I want to say may have been Dick. It was either Dick Murdoch or Gene Anderson. One of those two saw Ricky Steamboat wrestle down there and said, "Look, we got to have this guy." And they brought him up there. I know Ric Flair was high on him. He's been high on him for 40 years, 45 years now almost, for 40 plus years. He's been high on Ric Flair. I mean, high on Rick Steamboat. Rick Steamboat was a hell of a wrestler. To me, a top 10 all time wrestler. That's just me. So I always enjoyed watching him wrestle. I'm going to put this away for the night. You know the matches that we got upcoming. Um, this one was a squash match. It was over before it started. 1, 2, 3. Animal, I think wrestle. I think he pinned Brody Chase. I think it was Brody Chase he pinned, but that was over before it even started. Good. You all have a great rest of your night. It's almost 10 o'clock here on the East Coast, and I hope you all have a great evening. Bye bye.